So in this video, we're going to be working with finding the trigonometric functions for x. We're going to have a coordinate, an ordered pair, and then with that information, we're going to be able to find everything. So if I mark an ordered pair right here, like for example, x and y, this point, we know that this distance, horizontal distance is x, vertical distance is y, and then my angle is going to be, in this case, this angle over here, but we can also have a reference angle down here. You can have a reference angle down here. So it's going to make a right triangle, where the distance from the origin to the point, we're going to name it r. And that's going to be the hypotenuse of that right triangle. So with that said, we can use this information to find sine is going to be y over r. Cosine of theta is going to be x over r. It's exactly the same as we have been doing with the right triangles, where from this angle in here, this is going to be the opposite, adjacent and hypotenuse. So tangent is going to be y over x when x is not equal to 0. And then the reciprocal is true. So cosecant of theta is going to be r over y, where y is not 0. Secant of theta is r over x, so x is not 0. And then cotangent of theta is going to be x over y, where y is not 0. So let's see a couple of exercises here. I have negative 12 and 8. Let's start by, if you want to start marking that point, start by marking that point. So negative 12. So in this case, I'm going to use this 2 by 2. So this is going to be 2, 4, 8, 10, negative 12, and then 8 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is that point right there. Right, so I can draw my triangle right here. Right, this is negative 12. This is 8. Again, theta is going to be down here. Okay, so let's see here. So my first step here is that I'm going to find r. So r is going to be negative 12. So r squared equals to negative 12 squared plus 8 squared. So that's 144 plus 64. And so this is 208. And then the square root on both sides, I can simplify. So 208 is the same as 16 times 13. So it's 4 square root of 13. So again, sine is y over r. So y over r is 8 over 4 square root of 13. I can simplify here by 4. So this is a 2. The 4 cancel out down here. So I get 2 square root of 13. And then I can just rationalize here by multiplying times the square root of 13 on numerator and denominator. Cosecant is r over y. So again, cosecant is y is r over y. So it's going to be 4 square root of 13 divided by 8. And here I'm just simplifying. So I got the square root of 13 divided by 2. Then cosine is x over r. So negative 12 divided by 4 square root of 13. So by simplifying here, I got 3 over the square root of 13. And again, I'm going to rationalize. So I get negative 3 square root of 13 over 13. Secant is r over x. So that means that I got 4 square root of 13 divided by negative 12. So this is negative square root of 13 divided by 3. I'm just simplifying here by 4. So this becomes a 3 down here. Then tangent is y over x. So y over x is 8 over negative 12. So by simplifying here by 4, I got negative 2 over 3. And then cotangent is going to be x over y. And again, I'm going to simplify by 4. So I got negative 3 over 2. Let's see number 2. Again, I'm going to start by finding r. So r squared equals to negative square root of 5 squared plus 2 squared. So this is going to be 5 plus 4. That is 9. And then the square root here on both sides, r equals to 3. So again, sine is y over r. So it's 2 over 3. cosecant is r over y. Okay, so cosine is x over r. Then secant is r over x. And then I'm going to rationalize here. The negative, we're going to write it in front. So I got 3 square root of 5 divided by 5. Okay. Then tangent is y over x. And again, I'm going to rationalize here. And the negative, I'm going to write it in front. So 2 square root of 5 divided by 5. And then cotangent, again, is x over y. Okay, so number 3, again, I'm going to start by finding r. So at the end, I got a squared plus 2 squared, 64 plus 4 is 68. The square root, 68 is 4 times 17. So that's 2 square root of 17. And sine is y over r. So I can simplify the 2 here. So I get 1 over the square root of 17. And then I can rationalize by multiplying the square root of 17. So I get the square root of 17 over 17. Cosecant is r over y. The 2 cancel out, so I get the square root of 17. Cosine is x over r. So the 8 and the 2 simplify to 4 over square root of 17, and then I can rationalize. Again, secant is r over x, and by simplifying here, I get the square root of 17 over 4. And then tangent is y over x, so that's 1/4, and then cotangent is x over y. Okay, so let's see number 4. So number 4, again, I'm going to start by finding r. So r is equals to the square root of 569, because it's 13 squared plus 20 squared. And now there, again, y over r, I'm rationalizing there, r over y. Then cosine is x over r, I'm rationalizing. Secant is r over x. And then tangent is y over x, and cotangent x over y. So let's see now this one. So let's find the other 5 trig functions. So I'm going to start by finding that sine of theta. Again, sine of theta is y over r. So that means that in this case, y equals to 3 and r equals to 5. With that, I'm going to start by finding x, because that's the other part that I'm missing. I'm missing x. So I get that x squared plus 3 squared equals to 5 squared. So I get x squared plus 9 equals to 25. Then minus 9 on both sides. I got that x squared equals to 16 and the square root, right? Remember that now on this step, when we apply that square root on both sides, we have x equals to plus or minus 4, right? So this information is going to tell me which one of the two, if I'm using positive or negative. It's telling me that theta is in the second quadrant. So that means that on the second quadrant, I get that all the x values are negative and all the y values are positive. So that means my x value here is going to be negative 4. Again, the reason why is because it's telling you that theta is on the second quadrant. So that means that x has to be negative. Right? So now with that, we can find all the other 5 trig functions. So I get, again, I already have sine, so let's write it here. Cosecant is r over y. Cosine is x over r. Secant is r over x. Then tangent is x, is y over x. So we're going to write that negative in the front. And then cotangent is x over y. See the next one. So secant of theta equals to 5 over 4. So secant, remember that is r over x. So that means that I got that x equals 4. I'm finding y. And then I got that r equals to 5. So I got 4 squared plus y squared equals to 5 squared. So 16 plus y squared equals 25. So y squared equals to 9. And then the square here is 2. And again, plus or minus 3. First quadrant. On the first quadrant, we have positive, negative. So that means that in this case, I'm using negative 3 because I'm finding y. So again, negative y over r is sine. Cosecant is r over y. Cosine is x over r. Secant, we already have it over there. Then tangent is y over x. And then cotangent is x over y. Okay, so the next one, again, I'm going to start by finding that theta is in the third quadrant. So this one is a little bit different than the other ones because it's telling you that theta is in the third quadrant. And we know that on the third quadrant, we have negative and negative. So that means that because I have tangent of theta is the same as y over x. So because theta is in the third quadrant, that means that x equals to -7 and y equals to -24. Remember that if I divide -24 divided by -7, the signs cancel out, and that's the same as 24 over 7. So in this case, I'm finding r. So I got r squared equals to -7 squared plus -24 squared. By simplifying there, I got that r equals to 25. So sine, again, is y over r, so -24 over 25. Cosecant is r over y. The negative, we either put it on the numerator or in front of the fraction. Then cosine is x over r. Secant is r over x. And then tangent is y over x. And cotangent is x over y. And the next one is telling you that it's on the first quadrant. So this one is positive and positive. So I get that x equals 5, y equals 12, and r equals to 13. And I have my values there. Next part is telling you to continue using the unit circle. So my first step here is always to find that point on the unit circle. So 315 on the unit circle is going to be the same as square root of 2 divided by 2 and negative square root of 2 divided by 2. So remember that we said that cosine is x, y is sine here. So that means that this equals to negative square root of 2 over 2. If I go to pi over 2, so pi over 2, the order pair here is 0, 1. And then tangent is x, is y over x. My 0 is on the denominator, so this is undefined. The next one is telling me to find the cotangent of 135. So this is the square root of 2 over 2, negative, and then square root of 2 over 2. So in this case is cotangent is x divided by y. So this ends up to be negative 1. Okay, so 5 pi over 6 is this is the order pair. So cosine is the same as x, so it's negative square root of 3 over 2. Secant of 135, again 135 is negative square root of 2 over 2 and square root of 2 over 2. I'm finding cosecant, so I need to figure out first cosine. So cosine of 135 is negative square root of 2 over 2. And then I'm going to flip that. So I'm going to have negative 2 over square root of 2. So then I'm going to rationalize to have negative square root of 2. Number 14, again, cosecant of 120 is negative 1 over 2 and the square root of 3 over 2. Sine of 110 is the same as the square root of 3 over 2. Right? So cosecant is the reciprocal of this, so I got 2 over the square root of 3. And by rationalizing here, I got 2 square root of 3 over 3. And that's it for this lesson. May the force be with you.